Oahu this morning after a delay over the weekend because of rough ocean conditions. Casey Lund has more from Sand Island.
Aloha and good afternoon from Sand Island. A beautiful day and a beautiful start to the day, especially for the crews of the Hokulea and her little sister, the Hikianalia, as they continue their Moana Nui Akea voyage, this historic voyage that was paused due to the Lahaina wildfire out of respect for those victims. You know, I'm reminiscing about being in Lahaina, seeing the Hokulea and the Hikianalia come into the waters there at Kaanapali as we reflected on a year since those wildfires and how much it meant for the healing those people were going through. It was reminiscent of today when we saw both vessels leave from Sand Island. We were there early this morning at 5 a.m. Yeah, the concern this Saturday was the Ali Nui Haha channel and the other various channels that this crew has to pass through in order to make their way beyond Molokai, Lanai, Maui, and then of course all the way to Hawaii Island. I want to talk about what's happening in Hilo, but first a little bit from the captain of the Hokulea for this leg of the journey, Kaleo Wong.
You know, as we're leaving from Oahu, we got to cross a few different channels on our way to Hawaii Island. Going across Ka'iwi, Kealei Kahiki, Alala Keiki, and the biggest one, Alanui Haha. It's one of the roughest channels in the world, so we have to make sure we have the right conditions to be able to get there.
A longtime and legendary member of the Polynesian Voyaging Society, Bruce Blankenfeld, was on shore. He wasn't traveling with the Hokulea this trip, but he gave us some insight into what the crew experiences before setting sail.
Kind of just getting oriented to everything, you know, what everybody's role is, and just how it's going to go leaving the dock and what to expect for the day. But this is the best time of the day always. You know, the pre-dawn, and it just everything starts coming alive, and so I mean that's what they're doing. They kind of know what's expected, but now it's, you know, starting to let lines go and get some movement and all that.
So as we move towards Hawaii Island, you know, that's why it's really, really important for us to move when it's time to move. You know, Alanui Haha is not the prettiest channel at times, so we're super fortunate that up ahead of us the next 2 days is somewhat good weather.
That's Kalani Kahalio Umi. He's a member of the Polynesian Voyaging Society and a Hawaii County employee. He is a big part of the celebration that will take place when the crew arrives. They're set to arrive at the Grand Naniloa Hotel Wednesday afternoon at 4 o'clock, weather permitting. They'll also have a ceremony on Thursday, a special event for folks to engage with the crew of both canoes. A really wonderful opportunity. And then the big party, the Ho'olaulea for Hokulea. That is Saturday at Wailoa Boat Harbor, a really awesome event where folks can come down, get on board those vessels, again, engage with the crew, and really celebrate the history, the tradition, and the culture of this voyage. If you missed any of those details, you want to follow along and track both of those canoes as they make their way to Hawaii Island, we have all those details online at hawaiinewsnow.com. Reporting at Sand Island, I'm Casey Lund for Hawaii News Now.
Thank you, Case. Happening now, Honolulu Mayor Rick Blangiardi is signing a proclamation honoring the city's paramedics and EMTs. It's all part of National Emergency Medical Services Week, a time to recognize our first responders for the critical work they do. Honolulu Hale and the Blaisdell Arena will also be lit in orange, blue, and white throughout the week. Now, this comes as the Honolulu Fire Department continues to investigate what caused an EMS ambulance to catch fire over the weekend in Waialaiki in East Honolulu. The vehicle went up in flames at around 11 a.m. Saturday while on a call on Okoa Street. No one was hurt from the fire. The patient inside was in stable condition and transported by another ambulance to the emergency room. Honolulu firefighters extinguished that brush fire on Oahu's North Shore. Here's video from last night showing the night sky illuminated by a gigantic plume of smoke billowing near Pa'ala'a Road and Kane Hall Road in Haleiwa. The firefight started at around 7:15 yesterday evening, and we're told it burned about 10 acres, but thankfully no homes or structures were threatened. The cause is still not known. A man is dead after he was hit by two vehicles on Nimitz Highway. Here's a look from the scene right near Kahuiki Village in Kalihi Airport area. At around 9:25 last night, a driver going eastbound hit a 62-year-old man who was trying to cross the highway. Then, while he was lying in the road, the man was hit by another car. He was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Neither driver was injured. 29 people have now died on Oahu roads this year, compared to 12 at the same point in 2024. 33-year-old Brandon Lindley has been charged with attempted murder after he allegedly hit a man with his car in Nanakuli last Wednesday. Now, it came after a late-night argument near the fast stop on Farrington Highway. The 22-year-old victim suffered injuries to his lower body. Lindley's bail is set at $500,000. Support is pouring in across party lines for former President Joe Biden, who revealed this weekend he's battling prostate cancer. Now, his family says they are now reviewing treatment options. Natalie Brand has more details, plus reaction from the White House.
Former President Biden posted on social media a picture of himself and the former First Lady, writing, "Cancer touches us all. Like so many of you, Jill and I have learned that we are strongest in the broken places. Thank you for lifting us up with love and support." Biden's personal office released a statement Sunday saying the 82-year-old had been diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer that has spread to the bone. Doctors evaluated Mr. Biden following the discovery of a small nodule in his prostate after he was seen for increased urinary symptoms. President Trump, in a post, said he extends his best wishes to the Biden family and wishes him a fast and successful recovery.
We wish the best for the former president's health. And, it sounds pretty serious, but hopefully he makes the right recovery.
For former President Biden, cancer research and finding a cure was a personal mission. He launched a national cancer moonshot initiative inspired in large part by his late son, Beau, who died of brain cancer.
We can end cancer as we know it. This is a presidential White House priority.
Biden first started the moonshot work while serving as former President Barack Obama's vice president. Mr. Obama, in a statement, said nobody has done more to find breakthrough treatments for cancer in all its forms than Joe. Biden's former vice president, Kamala Harris, called him a fighter. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
President Trump says Russia and Ukraine will immediately start negotiations toward a ceasefire following his 2-hour call with Russian President Vladimir Putin today. Erica Brown has more from the White House.
President Trump says he believes his 2-hour phone call with Russian President Vladimir Putin went very well. In a social media post, he said the two sides will immediately start negotiations towards a ceasefire and, more importantly, an end to the war.
I think some progress has been made. It's a terrible situation going on over there. 5,000 young people every single week are being killed. So hopefully we did something.
Putin also commented after the call, saying Russia wants to achieve a peaceful settlement to the war in Ukraine and that the Russian position is to eliminate root causes of the crisis. President Trump said it will be up to the two sides themselves to negotiate the conditions for the ceasefire, but whether that approach will work remains unclear. Negotiators from both sides met in Turkey last week for the first direct talks since Russia invaded Ukraine more than 3 years ago. The talks failed to produce any measurable results. Vice President J.D. Vance, who met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Rome Sunday, told reporters the U.S. is more than open to walking away if progress isn't made.
The United States is not going to spin its wheels here. We want to see outcomes.
The president added in his post Monday that the Vatican, under Pope Leo, said it would be interested in hosting the negotiations. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
Meanwhile, President Trump signed into law a new measure that prohibits the posting of non-consensual intimate images, both authentic and AI, online. The bill, known as the Take It Down Act, makes it a federal crime to post real and fake sexually explicit imagery online without the subject's consent. Those convicted could face up to 3 years in prison, along with civil penalties for the platforms that refuse to take down the images promptly. First Lady Melania Trump says she strongly supports the bipartisan law, saying it will protect the country's young people.
Today, through the Take It Down Act, we affirm that the well-being of our children is central to our future of our families and America.
The legislation received near unanimous support in Congress. Meta, which owns Facebook and Instagram, along with TikTok and Snapchat, all support the legislation. Officials have identified the man they say detonated a car bomb outside a fertility clinic in Palm Springs, California over the weekend. They say it is an act of terrorism. 4 people were hurt and the suspect was killed in the blast. Andres Gutierrez has the story.
Make no mistake, we are treating this, as I said yesterday, as an intentional act of terrorism.
Right here, this whole building exploded.
Investigators believe 25-year-old Guy Edward Barkas detonated a silver Ford Fusion packed with explosives outside the American Reproductive Center Saturday, gutting the clinic's offices but sparing its lab.
This is probably the largest bombing scene that we've had in Southern California.
Authorities searched Barkas' home about an hour from the blast site in the city of 29 Palms, and out of an abundance of caution, they also briefly evacuated the neighborhood.
The subject had nihilistic ideations, and this was a targeted attack.
Nihilism is a belief that life is meaningless. According to sources familiar with the investigation, the suspect stated in writings or recordings that he was against bringing people into the world against their will.
I was never like that before that.
Richard Barkas is the suspect's father. He says the two haven't spoken in over 10 years. But growing up, he says his son would make stink and smoke bombs and says he burnt down their house once.
He said some kid in school showed him a trick to do with matches.
What was your initial reaction when you heard that a bombing had happened?
I was just like, what? I was just very confused and just shocked.
Emery Romero has frozen embryos at the clinic.
There's so many families that have so much hope in this clinic.
We were able to save all of the embryos at this facility. Good guys 1, bad guys 0.
Now, the clinic plans to resume operations today. Investigators say the suspect was attempting to live stream the attack, adding that he was not on the FBI radar. Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Palm Springs, California.
Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you enjoyed your weekend. Let's take a look outside at our hour-by-hour forecast. Right now, temperatures at the airport around 83 degrees. Easterlies around 17 miles per hour, so breezy trade still in the forecast. They'll get a little bit stronger by the time we get to around Tuesday and Wednesday. Just taking a look at the rest of this evening, we'll be in the green, seeing maybe a few showers, but most of those will be isolated over windward areas. 84 degrees by 2 and 4 p.m., getting into the mid-70s by the time we get into late tonight and as you're waking up tomorrow morning. Our winds outside right now, again, overall easterly flow in town, northeasterly over portions of Maui County, 18 miles per hour, and a little bit weaker over portions of Hawaii Island. We might see a few showers over the leeward portions of Hawaii Island later this afternoon. I'll give you a full breakdown on that and our first alert futurecast coming up.
Head on. This is now the inmates that are still on the run in New Orleans after the group escaped from jail. The latest on the ongoing manhunt. Plus, as Hawaii continues to face a physician shortage, many of the state's newest doctors have plans to practice here at home. We're taking you to the UH Medical School's graduation ceremony in 2 minutes. nurses at Queens North Hawaii Community Hospital in Waimea held an informational picket today. The Hawaii Nurses Association says about 100 union nurses saw their contract expire at the end of March, over 3 months after contract negotiations began. North Hawaii is a level 3 trauma center. As with talks at other hospitals, nurses are fighting for better patient-to-nurse ratios. Meanwhile, as Hawaii faces a shortage of nearly 800 physicians, a very special ceremony was held yesterday for some of the state's newest doctors. Many of these medical professionals plan to stay in the islands to serve the communities that helped raise them.
It's been a really hard journey to get here.
Roxanne Erlin is now the first doctor in her family. The new graduate from the John A. Burns School of Medicine will be doing her residency here in Hawaii and plans to practice in the islands as well. As a Filipino woman from Eva Beach, she says representation means a lot in medicine.
If you have that cultural background, you just understand the patient in front of you. And for me, getting this degree, it's like a step towards it being able to serve the community that I've always wanted to serve.
She is one of 76 students who just earned their degrees from JABSOM. The medical school says more than 40% of its class of 2025 will remain in Hawaii for their residency programs. That's a 10% increase from last year. And a majority of students are taking on internal medicine, pediatrics, family medicine, or OBGYN, the primary care specialties our state needs the most.
I luckily was able to be a part of the rural health program, and so being able to go to rural islands and spend time there, specifically my time on Kauai, was incredibly memorable. That's a community I really hope to serve in the future as well.
For Jason Seto, medicine runs in the family. His great-grandfather, grandfather, and father were all doctors. And while his dream of cardiology will take him to California, he says his heart will eventually bring him home.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to Cedars-Sinai in LA for residency. And then after that, we'll see where I end up for fellowship, but the plan is always to come back home.
With the state's ongoing physician shortage, JABSOM has become an incredible pipeline for new doctors, with local kids making up 90% of each class.
I mean, look around. There's great minds that's going to be working in our hospitals soon.
Now with the latest on the manhunt for several inmates who escaped from a New Orleans jail and have been on the run for days. Officials believe they had help from inside their department. Ryan Chandler is in New Orleans with the latest on the search.
Hey there, the sheriff here in New Orleans points to a series of failures, from broken locks to faulty security cameras, even, she says, the possibility of an inside job. 3 of those men have since been captured, 7 are still on the run, and authorities warn they are armed and dangerous. They are increasing the cash reward amount for tips that could lead to an arrest to at least $17,000. Now, Louisiana State Police say they do have good intelligence on all 7 of those men, believing they are still in the state of Louisiana, but they are prepared to expand that search to other states, collaborating with other agencies like the FBI. And they all stress the importance of the public in being a partner in helping them find these men, urging everybody who may know something to say something, reaching out to the FBI, the local sheriff, or Crime Stoppers, and warning anybody who may be harboring these fugitives that they could also be arrested. Meanwhile, the mayor of New Orleans reassuring the public here in this city that they are safe, even as this manhunt continues. In New Orleans, I'm Ryan Chandler. Back to you.
And stick around. Coming up after the break, your island-by-island forecast. Moderate trades over Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Better chance for showers as we're heading into the weekend.
First Alert weather with Drew Davis.
Well, happy Monday, everybody. Here's a quick look at our First Alert weather headlines. So we've got lighter than average trade winds out there. They'll get a little bit breezier as we're going forward into Wednesday and Thursday and Tuesday afternoon, and a few showers out there. We could even see some showers over the leeward portions of Hawaii Island. Let's just take a quick look at our island by island forecast. This is for tomorrow. Scattered morning showers and partly sunny conditions are expected over on Kauai. It's going to be breezy going into the afternoon. Here on Oahu, scattered morning showers, mostly sunny conditions. Some wind gusts could get closer to 25 miles per hour. 86 in town, 80 degrees in Kaneohe, 82 in Hawaii Kai, and 85 in Kapolei. Moving down to Maui County, scattered morning showers, mostly sunny, 81 in Kaunakakai, 76 in Lanai City, and wind gusts again, of course, over on Maui County, getting closer to 25 miles per hour. Maybe a little bit breezier than that if you're living just downwind of Mauka regions. And taking a look at the Kona side of Hawaii Island, scattered evening showers are expected. That's true today as well. We could see a few showers over near Kailua Kona, Captain Cook and Waikoloa, with lighter winds over there. The trade winds are being blocked by the summits on Hawaii Island. Calm to southwesterly winds, and then over on the Hilo side, around 84 degrees in Hilo, scattered morning showers and mostly sunny conditions. And moving up to the northern portions of Hawaii Island, mostly sunny and windy. A quick look at our First Alert radar and satellite can show you what's just going on out there. Not much out on the radar right now. A few sprinkles out there just to the north of us, but moving up to the northwest, we've got high pressure to the north of us. That's the reason we're seeing these trade winds. And this weak front going to stall well to our northwest. Not really going to be impacting us, but it is causing those weaker trades out there right now. Still breezy at times. A few showers along the Ko'olau, maybe a few sprinkles in town over the last hour or so. Quiet over most of Maui County, some showers just to the north of it and some showers over near Hana, and then moving over to Hawaii Island. We're watching the leeward portions of Hawaii Island. It is possible we could see some flood advisories if we do see some of these pop-up showers this afternoon, but overall mostly just a few showers and maybe some nuisance ponding out there. Kauai, some showers over near Keikaha right now. A quick look at our futurecast. You can see overall a trade wind pattern. Showers each morning and overnight and drying out throughout each afternoon. That's the case as we're going into Tuesday. And our surf and shoreline forecast relatively small out there across all of our shores. Here's a quick look at our First Alert 7-day forecast. We'll be right back after this short break.
some good news now. Artists from the U.S. and around the world are taking a childhood pastime to extraordinary new heights.
Check out this sand sculpture festival in Denmark. This year's theme was Showtime, and Miss Piggy made her debut alongside silent film legend Charlie Chaplin. Now in its 14th season, the festival's jaw-dropping displays have put the tiny seaside town of Hundusted on the map, drawing tens of thousands of wide-eyed visitors.
And check this out. You may have seen the story of a Houston woman who threw her pet cat an elaborate quinceañera with a custom dress and mariachi band for the feline's 15th birthday. Well, the viral event unexpectedly helped save a struggling animal rescue shelter. The owners of Holly Marie Gonzalez, that's the cat's name, urged viewers to donate to the Home Cat Haven, which was on the verge of shutting down, but the shelter is now financially stable thanks to all those donations.
The cat looks so cute, but she does look over it.
That's right. Thanks for watching.